Hello, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we will be discussing how to improve mouthiness in our dogs. Dogs do not have hands nor words to easily communicate with people. Therefore, they often use their mouths. Just as our hands can close, a dog's mouth can also close. We never want to punish a dog for communicating. Punishment for communicating can lead to a surprise, undesired behaviors, such as biting with force with minimal warning signs. Dogs crave attention, and as crazy as it may seem, punishing a dog usually involves giving them, albeit negative, attention. In short, punishment for these two reasons simply does not work on dogs. By implementing the following techniques, though, we can teach dogs how to communicate better. So that way, they can still warn us when they are uncomfortable, and we can discourage them from acting inappropriately in a safe, constructive way. Method number 1 for helping improve and decrease mouthiness in our dogs is called the wall. While we do not want to punish our dogs, we can remove praise. If a dog wraps their mouth around a part of your body, simply become a wall. To effectively become a wall, you must first be silent, remove yourself from the dog, turn your back to the dog, stand as still as possible, and ignore the dog for at least 10 seconds. If you continue providing this feedback immediately following every time the dog tries to grab you with their mouth, eventually they will get the memo, hey, I don't get attention or playtime when I do this. I think I'm going to stop doing this. Be patient. Some dogs are faster learners than others. The second technique that is effective at helping decrease mouthiness is called the yelp. Punishing puppies for displaying mouthy behaviors can be especially discouraging because it can prevent them from learning something very important called bite inhibition, which is how hard to bite without causing pain. More often than not, a dog is trying to communicate when they grab someone, a dog, a human, with their mouth. They are generally not trying to inflict harm. Therefore, if dealing with a puppy especially that does not have litter mates to teach them bite inhibition, it can become our jobs to do so. We can do this through what's called the yelp technique. Step number 1 of the yelp technique. If a dog grabs you with their mouth and you feel a tooth, let out a loud, high-pitched sound as though you just accidentally burned your hand on a stove. This will tell the dog that they have hurt you in some way and will prompt them to release. Step number 2. If the dog immediately reacts and releases you from their mouth, reward them with a treat or piece of kibble or by giving them a toy that they can chew on. We want to reinforce the good behavior of them letting go when you tell them to do so. Step 3. For full efficacy, you can then follow the instructions from replacement behavior, which we will discuss shortly, to give the dog something to do worthy of praise in replacement for the undesired behavior of nipping and or grabbing. Step 4. Eventually, you can even phase out the yelp with a word such as release or drop. Make sure that whichever word you choose, that you are always consistent in using that word and you do not change your word. This will eventually then serve as a cue for the dog, which you can use to tell the dog to release or drop anything in their mouth, followed by the sit behavior. And last but not least, we have the replacement behavior. Replacement behaviors are absolutely critical in most dog training regimens as they can be used to help replace undesired behaviors. As many people may know, most dogs do not understand negative cues. So if you were to ask your dog not to do something, they would not understand. Instead, it is important for us to tell them what to do instead. In short, replace the undesired behavior. Dogs will do almost anything for attention. So an effective method for getting a dog to stop exhibiting a mouthy behavior, or any behavior you don't like, is to teach them the replacement behavior, one that is worthy of reward. One of the easiest replacement behaviors to train is the simple sit behavior. The goal here is to train the dog to sit calmly so you can get the dog something they can be mouthy with instead, such as a chew toy. Like all training regimens, we begin with our antecedent arrangement. Make sure you train this behavior in a familiar room to the dog with minimal distractions, meaning no other dogs are in the room, the TV is off, we are clear of toys, etc. Always have one piece of kibble or a treat in your hand in front of you that the dog can see, so they know there is something exciting to train for. This, you will notice, is slightly different than a lot of our other antecedent arrangements, but it's for a very specific purpose. Put all other kibble pieces or treats in an area that your dog cannot see, either in your back pocket or in a treat bag that is clipped behind you. Step 1. Wait. While standing, wait calmly and quietly for the dog to sit. They will eventually, don't worry. Step 2. Reward. The second the dog sits, click and then give them their treat or piece of kibble, and make sure to deliver the kibble or treat directly to their mouth quickly, because if you are too slow or if the kibble is held too high, it will encourage the dog to jump. Step 3, no sit, no treat. Give a couple more kibble pieces before the dog has a chance to get up. Once the dog stops sitting, no more kibble. We only want to reward sitting. Step 4, walk away. Repeat the previous steps, this time after walking away a few steps and checking for the sit behavior. When the dog sits and simultaneously looks at you, click and then immediately give a treat and repeat the step as with all the other steps at least 10 times. Step 5, run away. Repeat step 4, but this time run away. Just a few paces total, not too far. When you stop, wait for the dog to sit and reward them when they sit and look at you with kibble. This helps teach the dog that we can have fun and that sitting does not end the fun, but continues it. Step 6, exciting. Progressively get more and more exciting while you run away and continue rewarding by clicking plus giving their treats when the dog sits and looks at you whenever you stop moving. And again, like the other steps, repeat this one at least 10 times before progressing. Finally, step 7, repeat. Repeat this exercise when possible to make sitting into a fun game. Now, when you play with the dog, if the dog grabs you with their mouth, you simply need to stand up, move away a bit, and remain still. This should hopefully now cue the dog to come to you, look at you, and sit, as you just trained them to do. If this behavior is still new to the dog, be sure to continue rewarding them for doing a good job sitting and refraining from being mouthy. Now the dog has an alternative behavior to offer you when they do something you do not like, something worthy of reward. This should hopefully improve the relationship between you and your dog, as well as communication between you and your dog. Thank you so much!